Civil aviation market in India has been growing quite rapidly. Past several years, it has grown about 20% year on year. So airlines in India require airplanes. And where do they get these airplanes? From the major manufacturers in the world, Boeing, Airbus, to a lesser extent Bombardier, Embraer, and so forth. Our firm has been providing legal advisory services to the manufacturers, to the lessors of airplanes, to the banks which finance them. That's one part of the practice. That is lease finance. The other part of the practice is smaller, is regulatory, where we advise the clients on the Indian regulations on the subject, which would of course mean interpreting for them the Aircraft Act, the aircraft rules, the civil aviation requirements, the taxation issues, and so on, and the cross-border play of all these things. And the third part, which happens rarely, but when it does happen, it requires quite a lot of work, that is if there's a mishap. So if there's a mishap, there's unfortunately a claim, and everybody inside gets sued and so forth. Now, so what typically happens is that an airline in India might just lease an airplane for a short period of time, maybe a few years, that's called an operating lease, or it might just simply want to own the aircraft, in which case the ideal thing for them to do would be to take it on a lease finance basis. That's called a lease finance. So they pay the price of the aircraft over a period of time, which is a kind of rent. It is actually a rent, but it is going on meeting the cost of the aircraft plus interest. There are various models to choose on. I'm not going to go into the details, we don't have time, but that's broadly what it is, the aviation law. And I sit in on the legal advisory panel of the Aviation Working Group, which is the body which spearheaded the Cape Town Convention, the most important convention to have been signed during the past 15-20 years. India is a signatory, and it ratified the convention as of 2008.